What's up, everybody? This is Enlightened Masculinity. I'm your host, Pimpin' Yogi Chris PhD. Pimpin' Yogi Chris PhD. There, that's a little label. Pimpin' Yogi PhD. I don't even have a government name in there. You couldn't find me. I'm shrouded in the pseudonym. This is Enlightened Masculinity, episode 200, motherfucking 13 or 14 or something. Thanks to TK Tony Kosmiski's on the show. He does the posting around here. I'm at IMC Base 1. Stoic Temple in San Jose. We have Prince Sultan and Fernando Caro on today. And we just finished the Millionaires Club speed dating event. And Fernando was the champion. He won it. And Sultan was also there. We have Oracle Raul Cervantes, who was there. He's also on live right now. And so we'll get perspectives on this. I was there also. And so first, let's hand it over to the champion, Mr. Fernando Caro. What's it been like? What was it like going through that? And any gems that you want to drop on us about that? This is quite an event. I guess I could have talked up what the event was exactly more before I handed it to you, but this gathering, I don't think there's anything quite like it. And there's so many things that come together. I don't want to take the words from your mouth. Like, what was it like for you, man, going into the event and coming out a winner?
Yeah, thank you for having me on this podcast, and as well as inviting me to participate and be a participant in this all-star game, right? There's an all-star game for basketball. There's an all-star game for football. There's an all-star game for baseball and every worldwide sport. But when we're playing in the game of social sciences, right? The social dating space, right? This is a place, a venue where you get all the all-stars, the students who are dedicated to the AZD process, the AZD teachings. Why? Because he's demonstrated in his life, if you don't know who AZD is, to be a master of seduction, of social dynamics, and many other arts, right? So to be a participant in this venue for the first time and not a spectator was exciting for me. Because for me, at the end of the day, it's always about proving myself. And maybe I'm hard on myself, maybe I'm not, but I'd rather let my results do the talking than my own ego or my own mind. And in my mind, I truly believe that I'm the best at everything that I set out to do. And that was my inner frame when it came to this event. I was going to do the best that I could. And I'm going to be honest, I never had a doubt that I wasn't going to win. Now, that's my own personal image, and I hope that each competitor who showed up at the event had the same thought, that I'm going to fucking win this, right? But that's the way my mind works. And so coming into this event, I was very excited, right? I got in tune or in state, ready to win at this competition, because that's what it ultimately was a competition of who, at the end of the competition, the women who were also participants of this event chose which guy they would likely want to get to know more in a second date, right? And we didn't know that question yet. However, I knew that going into this, I was ultimately going to be the guy that the girl wanted to get to know more of. And so a lot of it was strategy. A lot of it was social awareness. A lot of it was just being a likable character in this game and a friend, ultimately, because these are women that, I don't know them. I knew one of them. However, the rest of them was a brand new relationship, a brand new communication line. And so it was exciting, man. And, from the winning perspective, I think it just starts with the sense of belief to know that you're going to win. The guy who says, no, I wasn't trying to win, or I was just there to blah, blah, blah. Well, that's your fate. You seal your fate with your sense of belief. And my belief was that I was going to win. And that was my intention. And moving forward, that's how I carry myself in life, and everything that I do in business, in the way I promote myself, and in just any competition. Why? Because I'm a competitor and I like to win. So, yeah.
How much was seeing the past events? You said you moved from spectator to participant. Like, how much was being spectator? Do you think that played into, your strategy, or even just your expectations, or was it helpful at all? Or what do you think about that?
I'm sure at some point, but I wasn't really thinking of it, right? When I was as a participant, I wasn't thinking of, oh, I've been here twice, I've already seen it, because the game changed, right? There was a recalibration of the game, and
Yeah.
now we're
Yeah.
going to see one's skill set when it comes to the social dynamics and, you know, interacting with the beautiful woman. We're talking the 9, the 10, right? This is a skill that every man wants. I know that growing up, I wanted to be able to have the freedom and the confidence to be able to talk to the most beautiful women, because that was always a desire that I had set out for myself. I was cursed with the wanting of the most beautiful women for as long as I could remember. Since elementary school, when I was a chubby little Fernando, I still wanted the finest girl in school, and I couldn't get her. And the invalidation of beautiful women, the ability to not be able to get them was something that I struggled with for a long time. Not because girls didn't like me, girls liked me, but I always wanted the finest. And so now, with the skill set that I have in my ability to communicate and the confidence that I carry myself with my values as a man, allows me to play the game and be confident when it comes to talking to a woman, because she's a woman. She's also dealing with insecurities. It's her first time there. She doesn't know what's going on there. So establishing a trust and a friendship in this competition was ultimately going to be a formula of success. And that's the success for business, right? For anybody to do business with you, first they got to see you as a friend, someone that they could trust, someone that they can want to build a future with. And I know I'm thinking ahead of terms, but that was literally my philosophy going into this event. I wanted this person to see me as someone that was on their team. And I made people a part of my team. At the end of it, there was 4 or 5 girls wearing my last name on their badge, right? And so, yeah.
Yeah. Gave away the key code there. I extracted that for sure. No, that changes it. That changes the game. When hearing that perspective and seeing that angle on it, it's like, fuck yeah, I totally see that. And the relationship to business is a good piece of advice. Mr. Sultan Parvanta, man, there were a lot of moments that you had throughout this event that just happened. That's going to happen again. That, with the fucking drink, having a girlfriend there, all the way from just like the wish back and forth in the morning because of the way that the event was transpiring, and really what I'm looking at is living with AZD for the last year or 15 months. These skills are coming into play in a way that's just like storybook. 10 years from now, looking back on this and reading about it, writing about it even, it's just really incredible. And then, so this event that you came to, what can you tell us about some of the practices that you put into play? I really respect you guys for what you do, for living here with AZD, because it's not easy. I think most people would fail. And I think most people wouldn't be able to measure accurately how difficult it is, because they can't measure really what they're around. As soon as they become real with what's happening and the conversations that are flying back and forth, it would trigger so many things that they would fight and flight, and they couldn't handle it because it's on that level, so you've stabilized to a real deep level in consciousness to be this close. And I'm curious what things you did at this being flung into this speed dating event, and also just your general take on it, brother, because we haven't really talked about it since then. So, whatever's top of your mind.
Hell yeah. First, I wanted to give a thank you to you, to AZD, Cervantes Brothers, and Mr. Guerrero for the invitation for this event, last minute invitation. Living with AZD, I don't even know how long it's been, man. It's something like that. I don't know. I don't even care. Okay, who gives a fuck? It's been at least a year or some shit. And what you said when it comes to, a lot of people would fail, that's very true, because a lot of people, I think, would only last so long until they let their, let's say, parents or cousin or friend of theirs, jump in and end that relationship or make them, cut those ties. Or, people have like this, what do you call it? They feel like they have like some sort of responsibility to go and visit their parents like every fucking day or some shit, or once, Christmas or some bullshit, I don't believe in Christmas and Thanksgiving, all that shit, that's not for me. But, I can see a lot of people having those responsibilities, and then they leave or whatever for like 2 or 3 weeks to go visit their family or some shit. And then they fall off. So, here you miss like one day, you miss an eternity. you miss so much just fucking missing one day. I was talking to Oracle about this at one point. You miss like one lecture and you fucking just miss everything. So I agree with what you said. You know, that's a big thing. Like a lot of people wouldn't be able to handle it here, make it very far here, or stay here for very long. As far as the event goes, brother, I forgot the question. The question was,
man, just well, I haven't really talked with you about the event. Like, you know, the whole obviously was like so fantastical or whatever, but like, what are some elements maybe of game or stoicism even that you applied in the event? Like, I'm just real curious. Like, I'm looking at what I saw from what I saw about you, because I moved also from spectator to participant, but I was a really good spectator. I fucking love spectating that shit.
Yeah,
it was like my event, and like watching everybody's game, it was just so fascinating. Like, I'm just like a scholar of the subject, and here I am seeing like 8 or however many different strategies at play, and it's just like a fucking theater for me. So, but I go into the participant and I'm not watching anybody, but I saw some things, and then even from the highlight videos that I saw from Pyro, which are super sick, I was just curious, you know, what are some notes that you have? Maybe not, I'm not asking for anything too spicy, but just like things that stand out for you about the event. You know, we haven't talked about it, so I'm just
curious. You know, as you said, this is my first time, you know, actually being in the event. Past times I've been helping out in the background as a spectator, and this was a lot different because the last few events that we've done, everybody's been sitting down, and we weren't really standing up, or the participants weren't standing up, maybe for a few minutes to get drinks. But this time we're standing up almost the entire time. I think almost 90% of the time we're standing up. So it's different. It's a lot different. You may think that's like, oh, you're just standing up. No, it's a lot different because
mixing.
There's a lot of movement. Everybody's moving around. People are making drinks, grabbing, you know, we have fruits and stuff like that. So there's a lot more movement. There's a lot more opportunity. For myself, you know, heading to the event, I was with Mr. Guerrero. I was driving with Mr. Guerrero. And, you know, I really didn't actually want to come to the event. Like me and you had this conversation. I had a conversation with AZD. I didn't want to go to the event for a lot of reasons. And then I decided, you know, last minute, I was like, fuck it. Why? I'm just going to say yes to the event. Why say no to the fucking event? I'm getting invited to the event. Why not just fucking go and have a good time? You know what I mean? So
hell yeah.
For me, that was coming into the event, like driving there, I was, the phrase that was in my mind a lot, like it's still in my mind actually. And that's expect nothing and appreciate everything. That's been on my mind for like a week. Since the event started until now, that's been on my mind. That quote has been on my mind. And I mean, so much that I'm gonna get it tattooed somewhere.
Wow.
So that was my vibe for the event. I mean, I just expected nothing and I just appreciated being there. Was I using technique? For sure. I'm not just fucking going in there dancing and shit. But going in there, I didn't really have a strategy because I really wasn't, I don't know, I didn't really have anything I wanted out of the event. I just want to have a fucking good time. I don't know. I mean, I didn't even talk to all the contestants, I don't think. How many contestants? 11 contestants?
I think
or 10. There's 10. Okay, I think I talked to 5, maybe, or 4.
Wow.
Something like that.
Yeah, I didn't know.
One of them was my girlfriend, so let's
yeah.
not even count that. So let's count 3 or 4, you know.
Uh-huh.
For me, it was man, I didn't have an outcome. I just went in and just fucking practiced mystery method.
Yeah.
There's a moment where I high-five Demigod. He's not here. I high-five Demigod, and I don't know how the fuck Demigod, like, I high-fived him here, and he had a drink in this hand here, and he spilled the fucking drink. I guess I hit him too hard. I mean, he's way bigger than me. I thought he was.
Maybe there's just, there's some stiffness. If the person is stiff and you hit them over here, their body moves.
He looked like he was hella fucking not. He wasn't stiff at all, but I guess he was stiff.
I don't know.
He looked loose. I don't know.
Maybe someone else bumped him at the same time. Who knows?
I don't know, bro. But I fucking high five him, and then he spills the drink. He spills his drink, and then he like spills it on some chick or 2 chicks or something.
Yeah.
And I felt really bad, man, because you know that's like that's not good. I mean, I don't feel good fucking doing that. I didn't do it on purpose, obviously, but you know, if you're in that position, you're not gonna feel good afterwards. I don't give a fuck who you are. You're not gonna be feeling good after you just high five somebody and then they spilled their drink, and they spilled it on the floor, and then they also spilled it on 2 other women.
Do you
know
think
what
it
I
was
mean?
just too enthusiastic of energy that you had?
Yeah, well, I high-fived him, and then the first high five, he missed the high five. I don't know how the fuck he missed. I go to high five him, and then he misses the high five.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, "Okay, let's do it again." So that's when I high fived him. As soon as I hit his hand, that's when the fucking drink didn't fall, but like it kind of splashed out of his hand.
All right.
As soon as that happened, man, I was like, "Fuck, dude, that's fucked up, bro. That's really fucked up, dude."
Yeah. I can see that.
Yeah, and right after it happened, I grabbed a bunch of napkins and cleaned it up.
Yeah.
And he helped too, and then I think he gave one to one of the girls.
Mm-hmm.
And after that, man, I really didn't want to participate in the event. Actually,
Man, and I didn't even see that. I didn't even know that happened.
Yeah, I didn't want to participate in the event. I mean, I was going to, but think about it. You're fucking at the event, and you fucking spill it, or you high five somebody and they spill their drink, but you're in fault. I mean, to me, I was like, I'm in fault for doing that.
Oh yeah.
So then AZD comes up to me and he's like, fuck, what did he say? I don't remember what he said. I think he came up to me, or I went up to him. I was walking past him. This is what happened. I walked past him, and he's like, I think he said demigod is really uncalibrated or some shit like that.
Oh no.
He's like demigod's hella uncalibrated.
Oh.
I was like, yeah, man, he is, but I'm also in fault because I had way too much energy when I high fived him.
Oh, was he talking about the drink? He was like demigod's way uncalibrated, telling.
Yeah, because he was like yelling and shit, and he like, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure he saw more than I saw. There, because he was watching from the outside.
Yeah.
And then he comes up to me and he says, right after that, he comes up to me again because I walked away, and he's like, dude, I've been in that position. He's like, I fucking hate that shit. He's like, I've been in that position a lot. Like he said, that's happened to him many times. Like not exactly that, but in a position where he was like trying to high five somebody, or he did something, and someone else kind of fucked up, and then he felt bad for it. You know what I mean? And then
totally
fucked up his whole flow.
Yeah, because I mean, you could be. It reminds me of driving, man. If you get in like a fucking car accident, sometimes you could be the perfect driver. Somebody else fucked up, but it's always in your mind. Even if you were a perfect driver, like, man, if I just seen them sooner, like, there's something I could have done to avoid that. And most of the time, you're probably right. Yeah. You got to be so good that you can buffer someone else's mistake, also, so that you don't get the social blame for it. That's how good you got to be.
For sure. Yeah. And then after that, I did an exercise with him that just kind of got rid of that whole fucking like bullshit thought, because it's really just the mind, it's just my mind fucking making up all these.
Let's be fair. I'm not saying it's all like demigod's fault or anything. I just want to say that. Like, I didn't even see it. I'm just saying, like, internally, like,
it was, but it was also mine too. It was partially mine too.
Oh. Well, I mean, I guess he was holding the drink, so it's always the guy holding the drink. I mean, that's what
he's holding the drink. I mean, he's fucking yelling and shit. I don't know, bro. Whatever. It is what it is. Fuck it. It's my fault. It's his fault. It's nobody's fault. It is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, that energy, I think I remember the yell. I think that was like a different, it was like of a different, almost tribe. It was of a different gang or different time. It was his own thing, and he brought it, and it was like, it was a spicy flavor. It was like, that one red pepper in the fucking thing, whatever.
Yeah. So, I had all these thoughts and ideas of why it happened, or how I could have done something differently, or should I have done that? Should I have done this? Should I have not done that? Like all this fucking shit came into my mind, and I'm lucky that I've been, on this process that shit fucked with me maybe for about 10 minutes. And as time moved on, I got rid of it. I got rid of those fucking thoughts.
Yeah, that's interesting. I'm very interested in that, your process for doing that. So could you just say that really quick? How did you do that?
Yeah. The first thing I did is I saw myself from like third person. Yeah. So these, I saw myself from third person. Like I replayed that scenario in my mind, or that situation in my mind. And I just looked at it for what it was. I high-fived him, and the drink spilled out of his hand. That's all that happened. The drink spilled out of his hand, and I high-fived him. I didn't fucking purposely high five him just so the drink would spill. I didn't think in my mind, okay, I want this fucking drink to spill on a bunch of girls, or I want to spill on the fucking floor. So let me high five him really hard so I can just fuck everything up. Like that was not in my mind at all. That's fucking retarded. But afterwards, those are the things that are going through my head. Like, you should have done this differently. You should have done that differently. You shouldn't have high fived him. You shouldn't have done that. You shouldn't have done this.
Sure.
I just looked at the event for what it was, and it was me high fiving him, and the drink spills out of his hand. And there's nothing else going on. I had no ill intention of behind that. Right. It was a genuine.
So you checked your intention. It sounds like you really checked your intention.
Well, no, not so much that I checked my intention, because I knew my intention was good. I had no thought of doing that, but I just had to look at what that as for what it was. It was just me high fiving him and the drink spilled. It's not like I was drunk or anything like that. But that's what I was perceiving afterwards. I was like, man, maybe someone probably thinks I'm like drunk, or he's drunk, or all this shit was coming into my head, and handling that and going over that, like getting over that bullshit, built my character. Because right after that, I remember I opened a 3-set right behind. I think a 2-set. I was talking to you, and then I opened a 2-set of girls. Yeah. And then after I opened the 2-set, I introduced a third girl into the group. Like I waved her over, or no, she came over, I think, or I waved her or something. And that's when I started talking to all 3. But that was right after I spilled the drink, and then I did the exercise. That's when I was talking to you when I came over.
No, I get it.
It was right there. But it was just looking at that in my mind and just seeing it. Okay, I just fucking high five demigod, and the drink spilled. That's it. There's nothing else going on. If someone thinks like I'm weird or like drunk or whatever, like that's great. Go ahead and fucking think that, because that's not what's going on. I'm not drunk. I don't fucking drink. I don't even drink. Drinking is fucking disgusting to me. So
right. I get it. I get the whole process of it. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. So I'm curious about from Fernando, just kind of handing the mic back over towards you. When it came to like all of the, I had a question and I kind of lost it. It was right there, but it was related to like being a listener of the speeches. And, anyway, if I was going to be really curious about you and your game, or you and your experience, or you and your perspective of the event, that is just your confidence. Okay, let's talk about your confidence. Where's your confidence come from? Has you been building that? Has that changed while you've been on this process living with AZD, or is that something you had? Have you bolstered it? Like, how much have you changed it? How much have you, maybe not, let's not talk in general terms, like people can do this or whatever. How much have you changed your confidence on this process? And be honest.
Well, for as long as I can remember, I've always been very confident, and maybe it's rooted from being an athlete growing up, sports. I remember building an identity and ego around sports, and always feeling like I'm the shit, right? And I've always had that in my mind. I've always known I've been someone very special in my mind, not an ordinary person. And everybody here, is a very special being as well. Now, when it comes to this art and this process and everything that I've learned from AZD, it's been effortless as far as being a student. A lot of the teachings seem to just seep into my subconscious mind, and I'm easily able to tap into the teachings that AZD talks about. For example, when he did the example today of that language pattern with, I'm not going to give names, but one of his girlfriends, of, putting these images in the mind, right? I can do that because I did that at the event. So where this confidence comes from, it's something that I practice each day. It's not something that I'm aware of, like, oh, today I got to be more confident, right? However, it's in my everyday living where it's demonstrated. For example, every day I go on Instagram Live and I put myself in a position to, let's say, be vulnerable, share my state of mind, communicate to the world. Every day I do things that amplify my character. So when I look at my beingness or my expression, let's say in these social events, there's just so much that I can stand on to be proud of when it comes to me. There's no doubt in my mind how much effort and how much time and how much value I've put into my character, into Fernando Caro. And these are the things that, you know, I can stand confident on, or my values, right? I'm crystal clear on my values. Each day I practice my courage. Why? Because I put myself in positions where most people won't. Like the example that you said, most people would crumble off the light of someone as big as AZD. That's a position where I put myself in a space where most people couldn't. And now I love putting myself in these positions where my back's against the wall, and the only way I gotta go through is by going through the fucking problem. And again, when I look at where this confidence comes from, it's an everyday process. It's an everyday creation. I go through the motions, but I don't allow myself to ever lose sight of who I am and what my values are, because that's my truth. The little shit, the little details in life, I don't get too caught up in. The little details, the little bullshit, nah, there's a bigger image, there's a bigger game being played here. Now I got to stay true to who I am, my character, and what I bring to the table so that we win in this game of life. So as a tribe, we win. I'm not here getting caught up in the little details. So where my confidence comes from is simply that, knowing who the fuck I am when it comes to where I'm at, who I'm with. I can be in a table full of billionaires and my confidence is still going to be there. I can be in the room of master pickup artists and I'm pretty damn confident in my ability to do what I do. Why? Because I learned from the best. I've learned from the best. I live with the best. So these insecurities or doubts, I don't pay attention to them. If they come up in my mind, that's not me. And I don't listen to that little bullshit voice in my mind. That's why I don't even see them. So I don't know if that answers your question, but it's an everyday process. And how I've been able to create it, well, it was just by demonstrating each and every day, demonstrating who the fuck I am on this earth and what I'm here to do.
Right on. And there was something in that you said. An everyday process. Oh man, it was right there on the tip of my mind. Oh, it's right there. It's right there. I can see it. It's like right behind a cloud. Well, it had to do with you living here, being close to the light. Oh yes, there it was. Found it. You ready? It was, what do you bring to the table? You were like, focus on what I bring to the table. What would you say? How would you describe what you bring to the table? I'm curious about that.
Exactly what I demonstrated at that event. That's what I brought to the table, is a motherfucker that's going to show up and get the job done. And in my mind, I had total faith in all the time, the effort, the energy that I've put into learning the AZD teachings as tech. Everything, every event, everything was living within my expression. And so I just allow it to be free. I'm not so much caught up in my mind trying to be, keep it in my conscious mind. I'm allowing, maybe it's my subconscious mind, to just flow like a river. And so when I'm tapped in, let me debrief the language. People don't know. When I'm in my process, when I bring to the table, is a motherfucker that's going to get the job done. If I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. If it takes me a year, if it takes me a day, if it takes me 10 years, the job's going to get done. And when I say the job, whatever it is, if it's to win a competition, then I'm going to win the competition. If it's to make $1 million, at some point, I'm going to make a fucking $1 million. If it's to get the fucking girl to like me, I'm going to get the girl to like me. And so what I bring to the table, well, anybody who's around me, who's gets to play this game with me, is also going to reflect what it is that I'm tapped into. And as I reflect what I'm tapped into, right? how could I keep my head down if I'm a reflection of my teacher? How could I keep my head, or insecurity or doubts or fears, or fuck no, it's pussy shit. And so what I bring to the table is a motherfucker that's gonna, be the best and fuck the rest.
I see. Very cool. All right. Anybody have any comments or questions for the guests? I know we got a bunch of people on. Azotes would have loved to have been at the party. Shamir Khan was also at the party. Oracle, TK. What can you say for the for either of you? Any suggestions or any ideas come to you about how it could be improved? I mean, I'm the co-creator of it. I'd like to make it any better if anything comes to mind. I don't know if you would have thought to have said anything up until now, but I'm giving you the opportunity. I'm like asking you basically, like, what would you change? Or if nothing, then nothing.
Yeah, I mean, the concept, the idea of this event is, I think it's an incredible concept. Not too many people have let's say men, have the privilege or the opportunity to talk to so many beautiful women at once, right? I didn't get to talk to all the women either. I talked to maybe 4 girls. However, what an opportunity for each man to practice this art that we're practicing when it comes to the social sciences. So I think it's a great layout. It's fun, it's exciting. What I would change is, let's see, there's nothing that comes to mind as far as changes. Maybe in the future comes and I'll bring it about, but right now nothing comes. I think it's an incredible idea, and I could, in the future, in the timeline of it, see it become some sort of TV show. I see it become, some Las Vegas, I don't know, some sort of Las Vegas event, Los Angeles event, where people who want to learn this art, become better at this, have a stage to play. And so, I mean, that's my word on this event. I think it's an incredible event. So,
yeah, that's really interesting. That helps push the imagination too. I saw a whole bunch of things while you were talking that had nothing to do with what you were saying. Well, they were like related on what you were saying. They were like, it's kind of like when you think of the word like cat, and then you might also think of the word like fuzzy, but fuzzy doesn't really have to, I don't know. It's like unrelated, I thought of a bunch of other ideas. I let my subconscious flow, like you said. All right. Sultan, anything?
As far as changes?
Yeah, or ideas. Like I was thinking, it would have been nice if, yeah, it was a bunch of ridiculous stuff. I was thinking like, if the temperature had been warmer, if the toothpicks had already been put in the fucking food or some shit like that. And then I was thinking if there had been like an entrance, one runway or something of like each of the people kind of being introduced, like, each person is kind of like,
I got a really good idea.
Or if there was even like, I even had some far-fetched idea, real quick vision of like a tailor, like a guy that helps with suits or fashion or something, like a fashion tailor that did like called consultation or something with guys. So
I have an idea.
Probably ridiculous, but I was just getting imagined.
I have a really good idea.
Yeah, what?
I don't know if you heard it. I said it like 5 times.
What is it?
But really good idea. You ready?
Yeah, what is it?
Well, if we had a runway, no, not runway, a red carpet with like a tapestry behind it, and lights like with logos, everybody's logo, every investor's logo is on the background, like on a standing up, and then we have lights facing it, and have a red carpet with like a red pole, or not a pole, but like a rope, like they do at red carpet, and then we'll take photos in front of that shit, just like they've done at like GSLR and stuff like that,
For sure, totally. I wonder what print of that would run us. Man. A screen, a carpet, a pole. Man, that's like business investment. All right.
Can't be that much.
Oracle, you were telling me LLC, right? So we're LLC in Pimp and Yogi LLC.
Hey, if it happens, remember who thought of the idea.
Be like, well, Sultan, he'll be the man, with the models and the chicks that be coming in. He'll be that promoter that's in front of the fucking
and
red carpet.
No fat chicks.
Right.
Yeah, no fat chicks. That's like the motto actually.
What if they have like a really pretty face and they're just kind of
Nope.
poking out from the
No.
back? They're in the back.
No.
You can't see their body though.
No. Nope. Zero.
Nah.
Zero.
Hey, that's royal.
Hey, if
modeling.
the other companies want to use fat girls and put makeup on them, that's great. Then I'm gonna do the
Put makeup on them,
Yeah, put makeup on them.
shave them, put makeup on them. You know. Okay. All right, Zotis, what's up, brother? You got your hand up.
Yeah, well, for one of you guys, even yourself, Yogi, Chris,
What's up?
in the speed dating event, you guys have limited time to make an impression on each one of the girls you talk to.
Mhm.
And so my mindset is, breaking down Gio, you know, as meeting Gio in person. He's really good at doing that. And obviously Fernando too.
Yes.
I've been thinking about how to move her emotionally, how to create those, I guess, moments. I know Gio's good at creating moments. Did you have that in mind, or was it you're just a natural at that? Any of you guys could pick that up. I know Fernando's good at that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, go ahead, Fernando. Or I mean, anybody could say. I could say something on it, but it was kind of directed towards you too.
Cool. I can look back at the event and see myself in those moments where I'm sitting next to the girl, and there's nothing really in my mind outside of what's happening or taking place. And there was this technique that AZD introduced, which he learned from Manu, which was called utilization, utilizing what's in the environment. So, for example, you said creating the effect of an emotion or emotional connection, right? I used the entire venue as an advantage to create these moments. You see, it's not so much I'm trying to create it, it's already created. I just got to be me, my character. For example, you're 6'6", 400 and something pounds. God damn. Fuck. How many times is that woman going to get to be around such a big, beastly mountain, right? You could even look at her in the eyes and say, how does it feel to be next to a real life mountain? I swear I can get bigger. Watch. And then do some like move. Boom, she'll laugh. See, it's these moments that you can create out of nothingness. It's not like I'm trying to force something to make her feel something. No, I'm being me. I'm being my character. So the further along you are with this process, the more confident or comfortable you are with being your expression. Me, I'm naturally a funny guy. Growing up, I was always a class clown. I was always doing shit, social, interacting with people, had a lot of friends. So for me, it's natural to be my character, to have a good time. You're there to have fun, have a good time, interact with a beautiful woman, not just one, but multiple. Your brothers are around. There's a sense of elation around. The energy's high. There's music playing. There's drinks. There's a lot going on, man. So when you're in that situation, it's not so much I'm in my head. If I'm in my head, I'm losing. If I'm in my head, I'm not in the game. I'm here to be in the game, a player in the game. So let's play.
Yeah. So Zothis, specifically, just eye contact, just being present, and, moments present themselves, and how you create a moment, even with the gambit or whatever you're doing, you're still looking to with the gambit, you're not looking to create an effect that it's kind of like the paradox of the art of like doing a gambit, so that you don't look like you're trying to create an effect, but you are expecting an effect to be created, or you're looking to read that so you can stack on top of it or whatever. And, so in those moments, it's still going to be like an eye contact or a presence, where, it's like Fernando was saying, like your beingness, your character. So when you allow the girl to come present time with you while you're being, whatever you're being, it'll send shivers up her spine. She'll fucking giggle. There's a moment, and then what are you conversing about in that time? Is it comfortable, and what you want her, how she wants to feel? She should be feeling your words. You want to get to where your communication, it's as if like you can, like you're looking for her to like react to like the sound or the rhythm. You're looking for any indication that she's like listening for your next word. And so you've pulled her into like your voice in the moment, and you are creator in that moment. So you created a moment, kind of, if that makes sense. That's my take on it. Mr. Sultan, do you have anything about, creating a moment or anything you did like that with the girls at the party? Or anywhere?
Yeah, man. I mean, go ahead.
Or anywhere in general. I mean.
Say creating a moment with the girls or anywhere in general.
Yeah, well, that's I think what Zotis was asking. How do you create that? Right? I think that's what it was.
Yeah, how do you create in the speed dating event? You have limited time. It's like
the format was a little different this
moment.
time, where we kind of mingled for like 2 hours and then did like a quick speedy speed dating round of like 3 rounds or something. Whereas in the first and second rendition of the event, this is the third rendition, it was more of a regular speed dating format where everybody sits and the girls rotate or whatever. But there was a lot of mingling, and everybody knew it was a competition. So there was going to be like the girls vote on the guys vote on the girl. And so it's a little different, but it was kind of like rapidly get to know a bunch of strangers in a kind of vaguely speed dating format. And then, so is the question how to create a moment in that?
Yes, it was that. Yeah, because there's like little time for other things like comfort or
right,
Kino escalation. You very limiting yourself to like one process of the game, and you have to be good at that, almost like 1 or 2 things in order to win that event.
Well, there's definitely Kino. There's definitely Kino happening.
I don't know about that. Yeah. I think the only thing that's really off limits. I mean, it would have been very difficult, I think, to like make out with somebody or like start kissing on them. Like you would have had to like isolate them somewhere else, or, been in such rapport with the room for that to not be. But otherwise, I mean, all of comfort and attraction is available, and there's a lot in that.
Interesting.
I mean, you could have been holding hands, you could have been hugging, you could have any kind of gambit. If you have gotten to that, you could have isolated. You could have moved them to another part of the room and sat down with them while you continued the conversation. Like I didn't know Fernando only talked to like 4 girls, and Sultan only talked to like 4 or 5 girls. I think I talked to all but one. I remember there was one I don't think I talked to, and all of them was a conversation. It wasn't just like hi, we passed each other like, and I felt like I got something. Like I could remember a conversation with each one of them. So it was a different, thing. I could see you would win. Listen, you would win the competition if you just went over 3 or 4 girls. You don't have to talk to all of them. This is very interesting mathematics there, So sorry, Prince Sultan.
However, if you do talk to all of them, because not every single one will let's say vote for you. So if you do have like likelihood of more conversations with more women, then more will be in your favor. Mm-hmm. I just had really good conversations with 4 women,
Right, exactly. Makes sense. I had really good with one. There was one that I thought was really good. The others were, and then I talked to 8 other broads that were like, It was like, but I didn't have the frame that you had, and I took a little bit of mushrooms before the night, so I was like in a different world. I was weaving with these bitches' cosmic realities. You know what I'm saying?
Oh shit! Hey, I was traveling in the motherfucking stars too. I became Ruby in that motherfucker.
The fucking winner, champion. Prince Sultan, I'm sorry I cut you off, brother. Zoti's creating moment. Anything you were gonna say?
Creating moments. I mean, the whole thing was creating moments. There wasn't so much that I was thinking of like, let me do this, let me do that. A lot of it was like very spontaneous. I mean, of course, I'm running like mystery method. I'm running, a lot of AZD techniques, but I'm not like so caught up in really creating moments, I guess. I'm not so involved in like, I don't know. I mean, really, I wasn't trying to get any chick to like me or anything. I was just having really good conversations.
That's really your philosophy, is expect nothing, appreciate everything.
Yeah, I wasn't really trying
was
to do
appreciating
anything.
Moments. He wasn't expecting moments. He was fucking appreciating.
Yeah, I mean, I was at this fucking event. That's the thing, like being in an event like this, and then like, because someone could crash. Like going to an event like this, you may not know what the fuck you're doing, especially now that you have to stand up, you have to walk around, and there's there's more going on. It's, you know, you're walking around, your body language is being noticed. You're not, you know, you can't hide that shit. So if you're sitting down, you know, your body language is still being detected, but if you're fucking walking around, it's different. You know, if you're walking around fucking like hunchback, fucking like no confidence dude, I mean, that's gonna show. Where if you sit, you can, I think you can maybe hide it, but when you're walking around, there's people walking by you. It's different. It's a lot different. So someone in that environment can crash if they're not practiced in this. You know, we've been going out every weekend. We go out, you know, 2 or 3 times a week. So this is something that I practice. It's not like it's like a first time thing for me. Like being around like so many people like this, and some people just haven't been around a lot of people. Like before I was studying AZD, I was going out to an extent. I was going out. You know, sometimes I'd even go out alone because a lot of people didn't want to go out, or they want to go to some fucking lame ass bar or some shit and get fucking drunk. I don't want to do that. So in this environment, the more practiced you are, of course, the better you're going to be. You know, some people coming in, they may think that they're going to come in, they're just going to be hella good, and you might. I'm not trying to be negative and saying you're going to be fucking trash. You could be, and you could be really good. I mean, Gio, first time fucking came, he fucking won. Second time, he fucking won. Third time, he didn't show up. He couldn't make it. So that goes to show you, I mean, anything can happen. There's so many possibilities. So I think Gio going in, I think he even said he didn't think he was going to win. So, I mean, look at that. He didn't think he was going to win, and he won twice in a row. If he came a third time, would he have won 3 times? Maybe, maybe not. Right?
Gio is the natural. I think Gio is a natural from the art of seduction.
Yeah.
He's like so playful and like kiddish almost.
Yeah.
Very
and to answer Zoti's question, I mean, yeah, it was creating a lot of moments. I mean, there's shit that I was just saying whatever the fuck I wanted, dude. I mean, that's like, I just say whatever I want. I mean, my frame is so strong that they're just gonna accept it. You know, and I'm being offensive, kind of. Yeah, I am kind of being offensive, but in a playful way, I'm being offensive. And how did I learn that? It's from just being out, being social, talking to people, seeing AZD, how he speaks to people in the environment, whether we're inside of a bar, whether we're a club, or we're out in public. I'm seeing different ways that he's carrying himself, and you know how he's speaking. So you know, being around him so much, I'm having a reference on how to say what it is that I want to say without offending people. Mm-hmm. And if I offend somebody, then I offend somebody. Okay, I'm not gonna fucking lose sleep over offending some girl. That's fucking weak shit. That's pussy shit.
That's pussy shit.
It is pussy shit. If I offended a chick there, it's a fucking big deal. You know, it was like the thing with spilling the fucking drink. That shit was like, who gives a fuck? I spilled the drink. Okay, cool. Let's fucking continue forward.
Let's continue.
See, somebody that's not
can trained. We continue? Let us continue. We shall continue now.
Somebody that's not trained and they'll say spill the drink or something like that, you know, they would have just fucking lost it.
They would have collapsed inwards and imploded into a
for sure, and just not continued in the event. And that's actually what I was going to do until I did what I needed to do to fucking stop that, to cut that negative self-talk off. And you know, during the event, I had no thoughts in my mind. I wasn't like, what am I gonna say? Or should I say this? Should I say that? Should I use this opener? Should I use that opener? No, I just started fucking talking, dude. I started fucking speaking and carrying myself in a way that that my character would carry itself. Like I'm basing my character off of a specific movie. Okay, I'm not gonna say the movie. Doesn't matter. That's irrelevant. But I'm basing my character off that movie. So I'm thinking, how is this character gonna act in this moment? How is this character gonna speak to a woman in this moment? How what's this character's body language? Is my character? I'm tall as fuck. I'm like 6'1", okay? I'm the tallest person there. So I gotta carry myself like I'm the tallest person there. Not some motherfucker that's like fucking 3 inches smaller because I'm like fucking slouching. No, I'm the tallest motherfucker there. So fucking I gotta act like that shit. I got the biggest fucking feet there. I got the biggest fucking, you know, I got the biggest fucking head there. So I gotta fucking
biggest nose for sure. You definitely got the biggest nose.
Yeah, I got the biggest nose because fucking kings had the biggest fucking noses in the old days. So obviously, yeah, I do. So I have to carry myself like that. I can't be fucking walking around like, you know, I'm scared to fucking talk to one of these chicks, or I'm scared that I may say something correct her. I'm scared that she may not like me and she may not vote for me. I don't give a fuck. Okay, to vote for me, don't vote for me. I'm here, do what the fuck I gotta do. And if you're gonna vote for me, you're gonna vote for me. If you're not gonna vote for me, that's great. But that doesn't mean I'm gonna go in there and be fucking stupid and just say fuck everything that I've learned. And you know, there's obviously technique and there's a character involved. There's a process involved in doing this. So like going back to what I originally started with, if you're someone that isn't on this process, or let's say, you haven't been really been studying like pickup and stuff like that, or game or anything like that, seduction, you coming here having an expectation, I think is wrong. I think it's wrong to have an expectation because you don't really know what you're doing. However, if you just, like Gio did. I mean, Gio, how many days was he here? 2 days, and he fucking won, and then he comes back and he wins again. So he may be a natural, he may not be a natural. Who knows?
I think he's a natural. His natural.
Yeah.
It fits the description of the naturals game of like a playfulness and although I guess he has other qualities too. He has this enthusiasm, like this almost like religious leader, like explodes out of him. He's like, wow. It's just like, it's kind of infectious. He's so happy to be there. He's almost like a pit bull puppy. He's like so happy to be there. And you like can't help but like vote for him.
Yeah.
I was talking to him in the boot camp about the art of seduction, and we pretty much agreed that he was a dandy. So he kind of like
a dandy. He's a dandy. We
Yeah.
pretty much agreed that he was a dandy. That's very interesting.
Mark Hibbs, Gio, and I, we were like, oh yeah, he's a dandy for sure.
Dandy.
But he does come across. He has a lot of natural game. For sure.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
did not know. All right, well, brothers. So wrapping it up. Any closing remarks? I'll go with you first, Sultan. Closing remarks.
Closing remarks. Man, I mean the event. I believe the way.
And before you do your closing remarks, so that everybody has to listen, everybody like, share, follow, leave a review on the podcast, and mark that bell so that you see all the notifications when we release episodes. All right, Sultan, closing words.
Yeah, this event, seeing how it's evolving from the first event that we did, till now, it's worth way more than $5,000. That's for sure, because you're getting a reference of how to live like this.
Measure that for me. Why is it worth way more than $5,000? What is that worth? How do you measure that? Why?
Well, I mean, this time I actually got to participate. Other times I was a spectator, so I couldn't really. I could see the value, but I wasn't experiencing it, so I couldn't really measure it. You know what I mean? For me, at least, it was difficult. Being in the event now, and then let's say if I put myself in the shoes of somebody that's never been to an event like this. I mean, there is no event like this. Where are you going to find an event like this? There's no such thing. Mm-hmm. And if you do, it might be really bullshit where like, I don't know. I couldn't see somebody doing an event like this that's legit. There'd be a lot of bullshit like behind the scenes. They may tell you, hey, do this, or they'll try to record it and make like a TV show about it, and it won't be legit. So seeing how like I'm in the background, I can see everything that's going on behind the scenes, how legit this event is.
Yeah, super legit. Putting
myself in the shoes of, let's say, some random person that's never been here, right? And they just kind of start studying this thing.
Man,
it's so valuable because you're not going to get this experience. And where are you going to talk? Where will you go that you can talk to 10 girls that are like super hot, dressed very well, and they're going to talk to you? Their job there is to speak to you, not fucking ignore you. Like if you go to a bar or some shit, like you go up to a chick, she just walks away. You say the wrong thing, she fucking walks away. At an event like this, you're able to practice behind closed doors in a private setting. You don't have anybody there watching you and like saying, oh, this guy, he did that wrong, he did that wrong. No, everybody that's at the event is going to the event to evolve. So we're all there critiquing each other. If we're critiquing each other, it's all for the good of the group. We're all there to evolve. So you're not going to have anybody that's
there's a lot of goodness. So you miss out on all that toxicity that would be like in a normal, just like gaming venue that's mixed with like normal.
For sure. And there's way more opportunity because there's 10, 11 girls there. I mean, where are you going to go that's 10, 11 girls like that?
Yeah.
Like where the ratio for men and women are about the same.
Yeah.
If not, actually, I think there's less men.
In a pack of men that are loyal. That's true. Mr. Cervantes, you have your hand raised, brother. What is that? What is that?
I wanted to interrupt on something Sultan was saying, because he reminded me of the reason why.
Mr. Cervantes was one of the sponsors for the party, and he was also a participant. So just so everybody knows on the recording.
Okay. So anyways, one of the reasons why I invested in this and this idea was for this reason. This event itself was exactly or very close to what I had envisioned a long time ago when we first started talking about this. The opportunity to have exactly what we did, which is have a controlled environment, safe
Bro,
environment.
that's a trip. You're right. It's exactly what you, man, it only took like 5 or 6 incarnations because this is the 5th party, I think, overall. I told you. Oh, man. Yeah. Manifestation, dude. I just realized.
And the beautiful thing is that, like, these mistakes that we make, I mean, we have to make them. It's better to do them or make them there in this environment because it's a safe place. It's a place where you make a mistake and you have everybody's got your back. You're gonna make a mistake and you got to move on from it. And you're using the technology that we all learn every single day. So he applied it perfectly. He moved on. I mean, how many times? I'm sure in his previous experiences before the AZD process, he would have gotten stuck and he would have like said, you know what, fuck this shit, I'm out of here. Whatever the case would have been.
Man.
So that's the value in it, is that you're in an environment that is controlled, quote unquote, and you have the opportunity to do all these like moves, to make all these moves and allow the process to really sink in and experience it and put it to practice.
For
So,
sure, because it's going to transfer to nightclub game where we just go to nightclubs. Like, we're getting familiar with a high value experience interacting in that venue within the semi-controlled environment. We'll just go there on a Thursday night and it'll be like, whoa, we've been here. We'll be so familiar with the environment. We'll be so familiar with positive interactions, and then we'll be practicing game on that level. Like, that's just what it is. I was going to hand it over to Senor Caro. There was something I was going to ask you right there. Man, things just escaping all night. Well, yeah. Anyway, brother, any closing remarks, Mr. Caro? The winner, the champion of our 3rd Millionaires Club speed dating event, voted by majority, not by majority, but he got the most votes of who the girls would want to go on a second date with, Mr. Senor Caro.
And from the words of Nate Diaz when he chokes out Conor McGregor, I was voting for Conor McGregor. I'm not surprised, motherfuckers. Last parting words for this event. I mean, if you've never been to this event or you don't know what we're talking about, get in touch with myself, Yogi Chris, Sultan, people, even Raul, he's an investor, Alex Cervantes, he's an investor, and be a part of it. Be a part of this movement, be a part of what we're doing here, because it's much bigger than talking to women. If you perceive this and say, oh, it's just about talking to 10 pretty women. No, it's not. It's far beyond that. Look, people go to these personal development events. They go to these big workshops. They go to weird ass, well, I don't know what that event is called, but it's a personal development event. Look, you want to do some real personal transformation? Go talk to some pretty girls if you're a guy, and let's see you in these events. Why? Because we start to see a man's character when there's pretty women around. Some dudes get all weird and lovey-dovey and they start acting uncalibrated. They start putting a little extra tension in their voice. They start doing a little extra, and we all know that, right? Now, where are you going to practice, as we said, in a controlled environment, how to demonstrate your ability as a man and demonstrate your character and your value and have a fun time? Because that's what it is. It's fucking fun. It was hella fun for me. And everybody else, I'm assuming, I didn't have a fucked up experience. I didn't have these moments. It was a good time, right? And then you get to share with your brothers and the brothers. But that's just what it is, man. So if you've never been a part of this shit, come to one of these events and see for yourself. Invest the dollars while it's still affordable, because one day it's going to be all millionaires in the event. And then you're going to be like, damn, I should have gone when it was accessible to me. Well, the only qualification is going to have to be a millionaire to be a part of this event. And that's the direction it's going. We're going for these high level, multi-millionaire guys who have all the money and the resources in the world, but can't have or don't have the skill set or the confidence or the ability to have conversation with beautiful women
or the guidance
in a controlled environment. the guidance to see themselves as a high value man. I've met a lot of millionaires in my life. If you look at my phone, I have at least 10 millionaires in my phone. A lot of these guys struggle when it comes to talking to women. I've seen them. That's where I lost a lot of respect for these fucking people, because they couldn't communicate to fucking women. They get all weird and shit. Have a little alcohol in their system, they become disgusting. So come to these events because you're going to learn some real shit. You're going to be around people who want to see you win, right? As much as I want to win, I like to see everybody win as well. So that's my point.
Well, we can't all be winners. This ain't communism. This is fucking winners.
Yeah, like competition wise, I'm going to win. I'm going for the win every time, but everybody's winning because everybody's practicing and they're doing better and
Yeah,
better.
fuck
So,
yeah. True that. That's
Oh,
a
legend.
fact. Oh, because we're tribe, family. All right. Thank you everybody for tuning in. I'll see you on the next episode. We got a bunch of great guests coming up, so definitely follow and subscribe to the show and everything. Everybody here, actually, TK wanted me to tell everybody leave a review. So message TK so you can get the link so you can leave a review and everything. All right, everybody. Os.
Later.